Myself, Dr. Varsha Singh, Assistant Professor from Department of Painting, Vasant Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Kamacha, Varanasi. Today I am presenting my Module 1, Week 3. The course title is Postmodern Art and Literature, Theory and Practices. Today I am presenting my first lecture, Distinct Aspects of Postmodernism, Spatial Reference of Fine Arts. As my lecture title is Distinct Aspects of Postmodernism, Spatial Reference of Fine Arts, now the point is, what is postmodernism? Postmodernity is the state of condition of being postmodern. Logically, postmodernism literally means after modernity. The arrival of Neo Dada and pop art in post war America marked the beginning of a reaction against the mindset that come to be known as postmodernism. Introduction. Introduction of postmodernism. Postmodernism is a broad movement in art, culture, and philosophy that emerged in the mid 20th century as a reaction against the principle of modernism, which emphasized progress, originality, and universal truth. In the next point is in the next contrast to the modernist faith in progress and rationality. Postmodernism is characterized by skepticism toward universal truth and convention. Thinkers often note that the term itself is a contested and covers many diverse ideas, at its core, but at its core, postmodernism reflects a loss of faith in the old ways of representing the world. Next point is, unlike modernism, which sought a singular progressive artistic trajectory, postmodernism celebrated pluralism and contradiction. It challenged traditional artistic norms by embracing eclecticism, irony, and playfulness, moving away from rigid artistic classifications. Next point is, the movement focused on reconstructing grand narratives and questioning the very idea of artistic originality, redefining how art was perceived and created. Now, the point is origins of postmodern art. Postmodernism's origin can be traced to the late 1950s and 60s when scholars in literary criticism and architecture began using the term to describe new trends. Next point is developed as a direct response to modernism, which was dominant from the late 19th century to the mid 20th century. The next point is influenced by avant garde movements such as Dada, which embraced absurdity, and surrealism, which explored the subconscious. Next point is the rise of pop art in 1950s and 60s led the figures like Andy Warhol and Roy Lichtenstein played a significant role in shaping postmodernist ideas. Next point is key historical events that shaped the movement: World War II and its aftermath, the expansion of mass media, the rise of consumer culture and civil rights, and feminist movements in 1960s and 70s. The next point is the emergence of television, advertising, and globalized visual culture also distributed to postmodernism's development. Now, the point is how modernism differs from postmodernism. Here are some several aspects The first aspect is philosophical aspect. Philosophical aspect of modernism is belief in progress, purity, and universal truth. Philosophical aspect of postmodernism rejects grand narratives, embraces relativism and skepticism. Stylistic aspects of modernism focus on abstraction, medium specificity, and innovation. The stylistic aspects of postmodernism mix the styles, figuration, and hybrid forms. The originality of postmodernism prioritized originality and avant-garde experimentation. The aspects of originality of postmodernism questions originality, celebrates appropriation and pastiche. Cultural aspects of modernism separated high art from popular culture. Cultural aspects of postmodernism blurs boundaries between high and low culture. Intent aspects of modernism aimed for utopian ideals and emotional purity. Intent aspects of postmodernism focuses on critique, irony, and cultural commentary. Now, the point is the objectives of postmodernism. Here are some objectives of postmodernism. The first point is postmodern painters challenges the rules, techniques and ideals of traditional and modernist art. Next point is they avoid delivering one clear message. Instead, their work encourages multiple interpretations. Next point is postmodern painting often mixes different styles, genre, and media, breaking down the divide between high art and popular or commercial culture. Next point is artisans aim to represent diverse, local, and marginalized perspectives that were often excluded in earlier art movements. Next point is many postmodern paintings use irony, parody, or pastiche to critique societal norms, historical events, or art itself. Next point is the artworks often reflects political or social critique, targeting systems like capitalism, patriarchy, colonial, uh, colonialism, or media influence. Rather than simplicity representing an image, postmodern painting invite viewers to actively participate in constructing meaning. Next point is often the idea behind the work is more important than traditional beauty or craftsmanship. Now, the key features of postmodernism. Postmodernism can be identified by several core features and themes that appears consistently across its different manifestations. Key features of postmodernism. Postmodernism can be identified by several core features of themes that appears consistently across its different manifestations. The first point is skepticism of grand narratives. Postmodernist prefers to focus on local contextual truths. It embraces the idea that knowledge and reality might look very different from different perspectives, and no single perspective has a monopoly on truth. This feature is essentially a reaction against the certainty and idealism of the modern era. Next point is pluralism and relativity. In line with the above, postmodernism celebrates plurality. It assumes that there are many valid ways of interpreting the world, and it often depicts reality and fragmented, multifac- multifaceted. Culturally, this pluralism has encouraged the inclusion of diverse voices. For example, the rise of feminist, queer, and post colonial critique within the postmodern framework, which challenges the once dominant narrative set by Western male perspectives. Postmodernists are comfortable with ambiguing and use and see value in relativism. Next point is irony and playfulness. A notable feature of postmodern art and literature is a sense of irony, parody, and play play. Modern works really represent themselves with the earnest seriousness that modernist work often did. Instead, they tend to be self aware and humorously subvert expectations. This can manifest as parodying a classic style, using sarcasm, or blending the profound with the absurd. For instance, a postmodern novel might deliberately constant plot holes or ridiculous concept coincidence as a tongue in cheek way to mock conventional storytelling. In architecture and visual art, designers might add an element purely for fun or visual pun, like a giant roof in the shape of a hat. This playful tone serves the undermine authority and remind the audience not to take grand claims at face value. The next point is pastiche and eclecticism. Postmodern creativity often involves pastiche, meaning the mixing of different styles and references without a drive towards unity. Next point is blurring of high and low culture. Postmodernism rejects the strict division between high and low or popular culture. Next point is questioning of originality and authorship. Continuing a path of started by Dadaists early in the 20th century, postmodernism frequently questions the idea of the artist as an original genuine. The next point is fragmentation and non-linearity. Many postmodern works deliberately avoid linear structures or cohesive narratives. Next point is self referentiality and metafiction. A common trait in postmodern literature, art, and film is being self aware about its own artificiality. Now, the point is techniques and approaches of postmodernism. Mixed media, द पॉइंट इज इसको फिर से करिएगा
ये पूरी
कंफ्यूज हो
स्लाइड
रही
को
हूँ
फिर से करते हैं ना
हाँ फिर से
ये
करिए
टेक्निक
एंड अप्रोचेस हाँ
टेक्निक एंड अप्रोचेस ठीक है
now the point is techniques and approach of postmodern art. The first point is mixed media and collage techniques integrating multiple artistic styles and materials into a single work. Next point is reuse of past artistic style in new and something ironic context, a practice known as pastiche. Next point is heavy use of mass media imagery reflecting on consumerism and the pervasive influence of advertising. Next point is performance art, where the artist action became part of the artwork, and installation art, which transforms spaces into immersive experience. Next point is digital art and multimedia experimentation become increasingly relevant, particularly in later decades. Next point is use of kitsch aesthetics, deliberately embracing elements of mass production, lowbrow, or sentimental art to challenge artistic elitism. Art movements of postmodernism, especially a special reference of fine arts. The first movement is pop art. This is a movement that emerged in 1960s, celebrating popular culture and consumerism through imagery from advertising and comic books. Next art movement is op art. Optical art is a style of visual art that use optical illusions to create the impression of movement, hidden images, or vibrating patterns. Next is minimalism. Minimalism is an art movement characterized by simplicity, using limited color palettes, geometric shapes, and minimal details to emphasize from the space. Next is neorealism. Neorealism is a post-war World War II art and film movement, especially prominent in Italy, that focused on depicting everyday life and social issues with raw authenticity, often using non-professional actors and real locations. Next is post minimalism. Post minimalism is an art movement that emerged in the late 1960s as a reaction of minimalism, incorporating more personal expression, organic forms, and diverse materials while maintaining a minimalist aesthetic foundation. Next is New Expressionism, a revival of expressive and emotive painting styles, often characterized by vivid colors and exaggerated forms. Now, here the point is different art styles and forms during postmodern era. Here are some points as conceptual art, collage art, performance art, installation, multimedia art, appropriation art, feminist art, and public art. Here is some introduction of conceptual art. Art where the idea or concept behind the work is more important than the finished art objects. Collage art, a technique involving the assembly of various materials to create a new artwork, often reflecting juxtaposition and contrast. Performance art, an art form that combines visual art with dramatic performance, emphasizing the artist's action and presence. Installation art, three-dimensional works designed to transform a specific space, engaging viewers in immersive experience. Multimedia art, art that employs multiple forms of media, integrating video, audio, and digital elements into the artwork. Appropriation art, the practice of taking existing objects or images and recontextualizing them to create a new meaning. Feminist art, art that explores women's issues and gender roles, often challenging the male dominant art world. Public art. Public art refers to artworks that are displayed in public spaces, accessible to all, and often created with the intention of engaging the community or enhancing the environment. Some leading artists of postmodernism. Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol was pioneer of pop art, known for commercial imagery and mass production. Here is two examples of his work. The first one is Campbell soup cans and the next one is Marlene Dietrich. Here is some details of Campbell soup cans. This work is made in 1962. The medium of this work is synthetic polymer paint on canvas. The size is 51 by 41 centimeter each for 32 canvas. Museum of this work is in the collection of Museum of Modern Art, New York. Merlin Dietrich. This is the work of Andy Warhol, made in 1962. The medium of this work is silk screen, ink, and acrylic paint on canvas. And this work is in collection of Tate, London. The next artist is postmodernist art, Roy Lichtenstein. Roy Lichtenstein, many of his paintings were sourced from comic books and advertisement like Popeye. It was made in 1961. Drawing Girls, it was made in 1963. Here is the image of his work, Popeye. It was made in 1961. Medium was of this work is oil graphite pencil on canvas. Next example is Drawing Girls. This work was made in 1963. The medium of this work is oil and synthetic polymer paint on canvas, and this work is currently in collection of Museum of Modern Art, New York City. Jean-Michel Bequest is the next postmodernist art, neo-expressionist art. He was neo-expressionist and graffiti-inspired artist, addressing race, identity, and social struggle. Uh, here is an example of his work. The work title is Untitled. It is made in 1981. The next artist of postmodern artist is Barbara Kruger. Text-based conceptual artist known for bold feminist and political messages. The next postmodernist artist is Jean-Michel Bequest. He was neo-expressionist and graffiti-inspired artist addressing race, identity, and social struggle. Here is an example of his work is Untitled Skull, made in 1981. The next artist is Barbara Kruger. Text-based conceptual artist known for bold feminist and political messages. Here is the example of his work is Untitled Your Body is a Battleground. This work is made in 1989. Next artist, Jeff Koons, created works that blended commercial aesthetics with high art. And the next artist is Cindy Sherman, used photography to explore identity, gender roles, and media representation. Next artist is Takashi Murakami. Takashi Murakami combined traditional Japanese art with contemporary pop culture in his super flat aesthetic. Next artist is Robert Smithson. Robert Smithson, pioneer among the creators of earthworks, transforming natural environment into works. Here is the point is the impact of postmodern art on the contemporary art. The first point is influenced digital and new media art, encouraging the use of technology in artistic expression. Next point is blurred the lines between high art and commercial culture, making art more accessible and participatory. Next point is continues to inspire discussions on identity, consumerism, feminism, and globalization, with many contemporary artists expanding on postmodern themes. Next point is led to the rise of street art and graffiti as respected forms of artistic expressions. Next point is inspired art movements such as rational aesthetics, where audience interactions became part of the artwork. Next point is encouraged the questioning of artistic institutions, leading to more experimental and unconventional curatorial practices. Thank you.